So we have already covered in the previous lecture. This is the part 2. We have covered in the previous lecture. And we are reading chapter 1, how, when, and where. In that chapter, we have already covered the chapter. In this, we have read about the history. What is history? History is the study of past events, and it is much more than memorizing dates. We have done how did it happen, how the dates occurred. Meaning of history. What is the importance of days? Meaning of history. History about changes that occur over time. So we have done meaning of history. We have done caste system in Hinduism. The previous time, how the Hinduism has been divided into Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, Shudras, and the Dalit. Then we have read about James Renner. He was born on December 3, 1742 in England and died on March 29, 1830. He was a leading British geographer in his time. He constructed the first nearly accurate map of India. He joined East India Company and became Surveyor General of Bengal. After that, we have done that how East India Company formed for the exploitation of trade with East and Southeast Asian and Indian. Officials of East India Company riding in an Indian procession. This picture is very clear. History refers to a span of time. We have done why the history is referred to as a span of time. We cannot determine a specific date when British rule was started, as it happened over a span of time. So we have done various periodization, past versus present state of history. So at present, history is a wider concept which includes how and what concepts. Criteria to select a set of dates. Dates become important when you assume that a particular set of events are very, very important. If you take your birthday, only your birthday date is very, very important. That is the reason we always remember that date. So that is only, we always remember the main events. Most of the history in India was written by British historians. Warren Hastings, he became the first Governor General of India in 1773. He has a criteria to prioritize. According to him, he's a 1817. He's a Scottish. James Mill is a Scottish economist and political philosopher. He has written the book History of British India. According to him, he has divided Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. And he thinks, according to him, he thinks that India is savage, India is backward, and India needed to guided by the Britishers. Before Britishers took over India, there were Hindu and Muslim rulers who used to exploit India. Everybody knows the Mughal emperor, Gupta Vansh and Maurya Vansh. Everyone says that the India is about the Hindu and Muslim rulers. Furthermore, India strongly believed in caste system. We have already that India is facing a caste system. Multiple religions are there, superstitions are there. James Mill felt that only British rule could civilize India and teach them manners, arts, and laws. So they think that India is uncivilized. They need to civilize India. But is that so? India is also known as golden bird once a time, Sone ki chidiya. Indian history classification. Let's see how the historians classify the Indian history. You can make even the web chart of that. Ancient history classified 4000 BC, AD 500. Medieval history between AD 500 to 1850, AD 1500. Modern history 1500 present. But you know, in 6th class, you have read about the ancient history. In 7th class, you have read about the medieval history. And in 8th class, you are reading about the modern history. So how the time notation is there? What is AD and BC? The term Anno Domini AD and before Christ BC are used to label of number years in the Julian and Gregorian calendars. Modern periods changed to colonial. Now, what is colonial? Colonial, when the subjugation of, or colonization, you can say, when the subjugation of one country by another leads to political, economic, social, and cultural changes. This is the process of colonization. I can give you the example that how Britishers annexed India. They colonized India. India became a colony of Britishers. For 200 years, they rule on us and they subjugate us politically, economically, socially, and they have done a lot of cultural changes. So modern period is related to growth of all the forces of modernization. But under the British rule, people were not getting modernized. So that is also known as colonial period. Now, sources of writing history. Have you ever thought that how history has been written? If you went to museum and all, how the things are kept and how the scripts, manuscripts were there. What is manuscripts? Let's see here. Official record of the British administration. How the Britishers used to write history, how for Britishers, the act of writing was crucial. They think that if we write anything, that is a written proof. So every plan, policy, agreement was in writing. This led to administrative culture of memos, noting, and reports. You also think that when you write something, you you can keep a record of that. So they used to write everything, memos, noting, complaints, reports. Britishers also kept all the documents preserved in the record room. They are having their record room, which was attached to administrative institution. Moreover, these documents were written by calligraphists. Now a question arises, what is calligraphist? Who were calligraphists? So calligraphist was a person who specialized in the art of beautiful handwriting. They are very specialized in the art of beautiful writing. Those people are known as calligraphists. They used to copy down all the things. Now, sources of writing history. National Archives of India in Delhi in 1920. It is a record room where all the documents and letters from government and various administration have been arranged as per dates from the 18th century and are preserved in good condition. So you can see here. Now, sources of writing history. A lot of surveys are there, conducting surveys. Conducting surveys were common under colonial administration. The British believed that the country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administration. Anywhere you are doing the administration, so you have to survey, you have a knowledge of that. So the early 19th century detailed surveys were being carried out to map the entire country. So mapping the entire country is known as survey. For example, forest survey, zoological, anthropological, all types of survey are there. What official records do not tell. But in official records, we have a record of kings, we have record of all the main events. But how when the king annexed, a lot of battles, wars, all records and dates are there. But what official records do not tell. Actually, official record do not tell what other people in the country felt. What is the ordinary people felt? How the tribal people feel. That is the reason they have included a chapter, tribal Dikus and chapter in history, because nobody knows about these ordinary people. Only diaries of people. People used to write the diaries, writers, travelers, autobiographies. When we found the diaries, important personalities can tell about literate people. But that also can be only literate people can read that. So no record of the history is available for the tribal, peasants, workers, or the poor people, what they have done. There is no record of that. So chapter is included. I have told you the fourth chapter, tribal Dikus, to give the importance. So thank you so much. We have completed the chapter here. And now we are doing the question answers of this chapter. There's a copy recording of all the question answers, important concepts, key terms. So that will be continued. Thank you.
So children, hence you will start the chapter history. When and where you leave a line, see how space is there. Cover all the topics, at least 5. Aim of the lesson must be there to know about the term history, importance of date in history, how the history is periodized, periodization in history according to James Mill, source material, different types of survey. Then you will start with a web chart. First web chart will be 3 periods of history divided by James Mill, Hindu, Muslim and British. Remember, with a capital letter write James Mill. This way you will draw the finishing line. Give one date here precisely. And then the second web chart, the periods of history. The periods of history. Now types of survey. Types of survey. This is the types of survey. It is written in the book also. Please remember, write the proper spellings. Different types of sources, and then important dates and facts. So this much is today's work. Dates 1773, 1782, 1817, 1920 given in the book. Please write the correct spelling of all these surveys I'm telling you. Look, I am focusing here also. Now, thank you. This is the classwork for today. I hope with the neat handwriting you will begin the chapter and read the chapter carefully. So we will continue tomorrow. Thank you.